Hello, hello. How, Katie, you're first in again. Hello, how are you doing? In comes Mark. Oh, somebody's a number. Who's 386469? Who's that? Abigail. Hello, Abigail. Hello, Penny. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Tammy, Vanessa. Hello. Hi, Claire. Hi, Chris. Oh, you guys are coming in quick. Let me haven't beamed us onto Facebook yet. Just bear with me. Have a lovely little chat amongst yourselves and we will get us over onto Facebook. Has everybody had a good day? What am I doing? Rachel, what are you doing? Here we go. Everybody had a good day. I do hope so. I've had a manic day. Share in a group. And we have Boris Johnson. For those of you that aren't in the UK, we have our amazing, or not, Prime Minister giving us a little update at 8 o'clock. So I will make sure that we finish on time. For those of you that want to watch Boris do his update. So I'm just beaming us onto Facebook now, but it's taking its time. Come on, Facebook, keep up. Here we are. So we are module 4. Can you guys believe it is module 4? Oh, I'm so depressed that we're soon to be finishing. I've been thinking about it today. I feel really sad. It's gone so quick. Right, go live. Let's have a look. Bear with me, guys. Trying to multitask. Oh, are we live? Oh, I can't see we're live. Oh, here we are. There she is scrolling. So let's get my Zoom back up. So how are we doing? Are we all good? Oh, you guys are chatty tonight. Look at you. Look at you. All the chat going on. Why can't I share my screen? Come on. Here we are. There we go. So I will have a look at the chat now. Oh, hello, hello. Oh, look at you all. Hello, everyone. Oh, Robert, hello. I haven't replied to your email, but I will. Now I can piece together exactly who you are. So I will say no more than that. Now I'm in the know. Busy, Thais. Hello, Thais. Oh, Claire, you've been doing first aid training today. Fantastic. Hi, Maria. Hello, Sharon. Who's 386469? Who is that? Oh, I hate not knowing your name. Yes, I am okay. Thank you, Claire. It's all going too quickly. Oh, very sad. I know. It's gone so quick, hasn't it? Oh, dear. Fires in California. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Anna. Oh, dear. It affected your friends. Oh, no. Mwah. Sending love. Sending love. So let's get on with it. I feel all lonely. I wish it was like the mastermind where I could see you, but there's so many of you that I don't think that's going to be possible. Oh, hi, Julie. That's you with the numbers. So why can I not see my, come on, Zoom. Don't let me down. I've had loads of Zoom meetings today. Anyway, I'll see how I can get on with what I can see now. Anyway, so let's get on. So it is module 4. It's our last week. So tonight, obviously, we've got the masterclass like normal, but Thursday this week is going to be a little bit different. So rather than being the mastermind from this topic that we're covering, which is scaling to 6 figures, Thursday, we are going to be having a bonus module. So I'm going to be talking to you about working smart and not hard, And within that, we'll do some mastermind. I'll get everybody into the Zoom room like I normally do on a Thursday so that we can see each other and chat, because it will be our last time together. And I've just reminded Oliver that on Thursday, he is going to be picking out the winner from the top 10. Do you know what the first thing he said was? How many people are going to be there, Mummy? So he's only 6. At what age do you learn to hate public speaking? I haven't even asked him to say anything, and already his first question is, how many people are going to be there? So I need to get him onto Zoom and get him used to it, so that by the time he's a grown up, he will be not afraid of public speaking. So that's what we've got on Thursday. So let me get into the slides, because I've prepared a couple of bits for us tonight. So I gave you some homework last week, and so many of you have been tagging me into posts on social media. I've definitely seen the work I do is important, because, you know, and people really talking about what they do and why it's so vital, not just to them, but to their ideal audience, because your ideal audience, they're out there lurking, they're out there watching you. Whether or not you know they're there or not, they are watching you. So all these kind of posts really start to build your personality and build you as the go-to person. So well done to those of you that have been all over social media and really getting this message out there. Hi, Chris. Kids kicking off at bedtime? No way. How dare they? Did you not tell them? Rachel's live on blooming Zoom. My husband's putting Oliver to bed as usual on a Tuesday, so I get the night off. Well, not that this is a night off. Anyway, so yeah, well done to those of you that have been all over social media, really sharing your story. It's amazing, amazing, amazing. Those of you as well that have shared with me that you've created a bit of a Cupid framework. I know some of you have developed like little one-pagers that you're going to use on your sales calls or sales meetings. Some of you have that face-to-face. So, you know, this stuff really does work. I promise you, it really, really works. So if you haven't already, really just go back over Cupid and make sure that you know how you're going to use Cupid with your potential customers. I guarantee you'll have better outcomes, all right? And your conversion rate will grow, you'll have more success. So that was our homework. If you're sat there now thinking, oh, I didn't actually do that, then there's still time. There's still time, get on and do it. Here are our prizes. So I'll go back over these obviously on Thursday when we're drawing out the winner. There's one thing I just wanted, well, there's 2 things actually I just wanted to quickly cover. The first prize, the full 10-week program mastermind, and actually it's 11 because the 11th week is a strategy session for 2021, so it's actually 11 weeks. But the winner for that, I'm pulling out of the top 10, and the top 10 engagement points or extra proud points. You guys have been going in and looking at the leaderboard, and some of you have been contacting me and saying, how are these points actually worked out? Because, well, firstly, you're super competitive, and secondly, I'm feeling flattered that you want to win it so much because you want to carry on working with me, which would just be amazing. So a couple of you have noticed that the system adds points when you go in and look at certain things, and yes, it does. And the reason it does that is because they're called engagement points. So if you're engaging with the learning system, if you're engaging with your quiz replies, and maybe you go back in and you reread them, you will get extra points. Now, what I won't want to see is people that I know throughout the program who haven't been as engaged as others suddenly appearing in the leaderboard, because that won't be very fair. And so I know who the super, super high engagers have been, because I've been on the receiving end of about 3,000 quiz replies, and I've read them all, apart from some that have come in today. So I just wanted to say, I know the system is allocating points when you're going in and reading your own replies. And if I think that you're in the top 10, but you don't necessarily deserve to be there because you suddenly appeared there in the last day of the whole program, I will take you out, because it's my party and I'm allowed to do that. So I want to reward and recognize super high effort and engagement. So there's no point trying to fudge the system, because I'll know, because I'm a clever girl. So it's not just you, Joe, there's lots of people doing it. So don't you worry, I'm all over it, and I know what's fair and right. And I'm a woman of integrity, so I will always do what's right, even if it means going back over my rule of the top 10. Yeah, if people are in there and they shouldn't be, then I'll just tell them. So the other thing I wanted to just say on the prizes is the second prize, the free one-to-one strategy session with me. The criteria for winning that one was for you guys to be able to demonstrate to me that you've had the most impressive results. Now, I've created that as your criteria for winning, because guess what I need from you as a little, you know, a little ask from me for you having 4 weeks of my undivided attention is a couple of little testimonials would be really nice. So me saying to you, have you had impressive results? I want you to demonstrate that to me. You're going to win. One of you is going to win a free strategy session. But what I want to do is generate you guys telling me whether or not that you've had impressive results as a result of being on this program. So what would impressive results mean to me? It could be anything. You could have won a client using Can't Can Will. You could have grown your social media followers by more than you've ever grown it before in a short space of time. You could be getting more engagement on your Instagram stories. You could be clearer on your money goals than you've ever been before. There could be any number of things that would constitute impressive results. Now, they don't really need to super impress me. I just need to be aware of them. I need you to tell me what they are. So I hope this is making sense, guys. Please drop a question in if it's not making sense. I can see there's some comments over here on Facebook. Hello, Stacey. Yes. Oh, my voice is bearing out. Hello, Stacey. Hello, Manjula. Hello, Anne. Lovely to see you. Hello, Penny. So yeah, sorry, I'm only just saying hello to Facebook. The chat bar isn't updating. Oh, that's weird. I've just seen that come through though, and I just saw Joe's. So not sure why that is, Katie. Ooh, don't know. Don't let the technology let us down now. Maybe nobody's chatting. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're all listening to me talking about how to win prizes. So yeah, if you've got any questions on how to demonstrate to me that you've had impressive results, then please let me know. But you can demonstrate those impressive results to me in private by sending me them on Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp or in an email. You can demonstrate them to me any way you want to. What I will also do is make available to you the Facebook page review link, because if you want to say nice things about me, I'd like you to do that on Facebook. So anyway, let's get into the detail. Is everybody clear on how we win these prizes? Okay. The good news is that every single one of you is going to get just a little something from me for just being here and staying with me and providing me with feedback, because I've learned so much. I've learned so much about the system. I've learned about my style of delivery. I've learned about what you need. I've learned about how to connect Facebook and the learning system together, and just lots. I've learned so much. And as a result of, you know, spending these 4 weeks together, I've now got 2021 absolutely mapped out. I'm clear as anything. And on Thursday, I am going to be sharing my value ladder with you. So this is not going to be one of those awful programs where right at the end, the person, the leader, me, suddenly goes into massive sales pitch mode. Not my style at all. In fact, I really find it quite vile. I won't be doing that. I believe that people buy when they want to buy, when they're ready to buy, and most importantly, when they need to buy. So I will not be doing that. That is not how this is all going to end. What I am going to do though is show you how I practice what I preach. And that is, I'm going to show you my value ladder. I'm going to show you how it all pieces together If any of it resonates with you and you think, do you know what, I've had Rachel in my life for 4 weeks, I can't bear to live without her, I need her just for a little bit longer, and one of those things is right for you, then you will get discounts from me to get involved. If you don't want any of those, that's absolutely fine, and not a single bit of pressure from me. There won't be like dodgy countdowns, and there won't be dodgy buy in the next 24 hours, otherwise the world stops turning. Not my style. So, Chris, yes, I will excuse me. I will tell you all about the Beyond the Next Level, and I will tell it to you on Thursday, if that's okay, sweetie. I'll go through that in detail so that everybody can hear it. So anyway, we're 16 minutes past 7 and I haven't even got into the bloody topic yet. Silly me. Anyway, let's go. Shall we get into it? Just check we haven't got any comments on Facebook now. Everybody's happy over there. So, scaling. Everything else I've shared with you, I've done multiple times in my business and career. Scaling a business, personally, I've done once. So I'm lucky to be able to say I've done the 6-figure thing, I've reached the 6-figure thing. Lovely, great. Didn't really hit home to me when I did it because I've never been somebody that would broadcast my turnover. It's just, I've just grown up in a business world where it's just not cool to broadcast your turnover. But people seem to do it now, and I still don't really get it, but that's what they do. Anyway, I've scaled a business once, and I've worked with a number of entrepreneurs who have way surpassed 6 figures, you know, and they're into multi-millions, and so I've supported them in scaling and growing their business. So I'm going to share with you some stuff today that really sort of resonates with me as being good advice to give to somebody who might be at the 30k, 40k, 50k mark and really just aspiring to get to that magic 6-figure number. Firstly, because it just sounds nice and feels nice that you hit it, and secondly, because in business you have to spend money to make money. So sometimes you have to hire in help, you have to buy all sorts of things, which I'm going to get into in a minute, and what's really left is your profit, which gives you your lifestyle and your earnings. So yeah, it's not all about the revenue, is it? So the other sort of reason that I'm going to share some of the things I'm sharing with you is that I only want to be an advocate for sustainable scaling. I don't want you to go absolute hell for leather, balls to the wall, go absolutely mad for 6 figures and beyond, only to find that the life that you have at the end of that is not what you wanted. That you don't get time with your family, and you don't get time for holidays, and you don't get time with loved ones, and you don't get time to enjoy the house you own or the car you drive, or all those material things. There's no point having them if you can't enjoy them. So I am only an advocate for sustainable scaling, not scaling at any cost, because scaling at any cost is just not worth it. And you know, I am a bit of a workaholic. So I do tend to work a lot of hours and put my heart and soul into everything, and I've learned the sustainable thing the hard way, and so that's why I am only an advocate for sustainable scaling. Okay, so that is what I am going to share with you tonight. Shall I get on with it? Hell yes, Rachel, shut up talking and get on with it. So here is, you know that I like an acronym. I've created an acronym around the word scale. How about that? Let's see what I did there. So the S stands for specialism. You will not be able to scale your business if you aren't an expert in your niche. And that's either you or your business brand, yeah, whatever is most relevant. If you are your business brand, then it's you. But you will not be able to scale unless you are known for being the go-to person in your niche. So if you've gone and you've done the ideal client profile, fantastic. If you still haven't, please go and do it while you can still access it, because you guys won't have access into the Profit Project forever. Those things will go. I'm not sure when I'm going to take them down. It's not yet, so don't panic. But please, if you want to do it, please go in and do it soon, because you do need to know that ideal client profile, and you do need to have a niche carved out. I did some work with a client one-to-one today who hasn't had a niche up until this point, and today we nailed her niche. Today we absolutely identified exactly where she's going to focus. So now she can go back to all of her social media profiles and go back to her website and start updating the content to speak to the exact people that she needs to speak to. And so this idea of being a specialist fits in with your ideal client profile. You need to have a place in the world, a little place on the business shelf where people know, if that's what I need, I know I go there to that person. Okay, so specialism, absolutely critical. But I'm not going to focus really on that tonight, because we've done ideal client profile to death. If any of you want to know more about that, you know where I am, but I don't think we need to go back over that. Cash, we are going to go into. So the C of scale is cash, tracking and measurement of profitability. There is no point going crazy for revenue if you spend it all, because there won't be any profit left and your accountant will not be very happy with you. So what I would say though, is if you want to reach 100K a year, you do need to spend money. There are things that you absolutely are going to need to buy. And right at the beginning, we talked about profit percentage. And depending on what your business is, your profit percentages could all be really different. So for every pound or dollar you bring in, what percentage do you get to retain as profit? Okay. Now, some businesses, and I know some of you, spend probably 20% and retain 80%, which is obviously a really good profit percentage. And others of you might be around 50-50, but some businesses are a lot less. Some businesses you only get to retain 20 to 30% of the money that you bring in to actually go to the bottom line as profit. So depending on what your business is and what your niche is and how you deliver your products and services, that will all, tie in together to this sort of cash principle. I'm going to get into that on the next slide. The A is automation. Ask yourselves now, have you got automated systems? Have you got things in place in your business which allow you to move more quickly, more effectively, that allow things to just happen without you having to make them happen? Because if you're going to get to those dizzy heights of 100K and beyond, you don't want to have to be doing everything, because you can't, because that won't be sustainable. Yeah. So we'll talk a little bit about automation. The L is leverage. And there are 3 parts to the L of scale. The 3 T's: time, talent, and team. I'm going to get into them in a bit. That's probably where we're going to spend most of our time. And then the E is for evergreen, and that is for passive income. Life gets so much easier when you wake up and there's just money coming in, or there's just, things happening in the business without you even needing to make them happen. So that would be the holy grail. That's where we're all trying to get to. Okay. And that is probably what the Profit Project will be 2 years from now. It will be an evergreen course that's all pre-recorded with the odd little mastermind where I dive in and go, hi. But other than that, it will all happen without me. So, but that's not yet. That's a little bit of time away. So that's the acronym SCALE. Easy to remember. Take a picture of it if you need to. But yeah, passive income, Ben, that's what we want, isn't it? Passive income. Make money while we sleep. Happy days. Okay, cash. What I'm going to recommend, ask you all to do, is consider the profitability, not just of the business. We probably already do that. What I'm going to suggest you try to do is consider the profitability of each task, of each service, of each month. If you've got staff, it could be of each member of staff. consider the profitability of everything in its own little box. Because sometimes, especially when you've been in business for a long time, it's quite easy to just keep doing the same as what we've always done, and to not reflect back and change what we're delivering and tweak what we're delivering. If you were to look back to some to a service that you put in place 3 years ago, well, what if now the market's moved on, the average price of your competitors is higher? What if maybe you haven't sold that service for a while, but you've still got it listed on your website, and actually what you should be doing is maybe taking the service down because it's not needed anymore. There are things that you can do to create space and speed and effectiveness in your business by just reflecting back and having a look at whether or not the business in each little area of it is profitable. Okay, I was on the phone to a client probably about an hour ago who's realised that one of the members of his team, who's in a sales role, is not even bringing in the amount of revenue that her salary costs him. And of course he's going, what am I going to do? You know what my answer was, but that's not good. So, and a business can't sustain that for a long period of time. So if you've got an accountant that's helpful and offers you good advice, then great, have a chat with them. If you don't know where to go in your system, did I just see somebody mention something about QuickBooks? Yeah, I've got QuickBooks too. Absolutely amazing for just getting a quick recce of the numbers. If you know your way around your Xero or your QuickBooks or Free Agent or whichever one you use, just go and have a quick look at your P&L for the month, because it will allow you to do that. You don't just have to look at your P&L for the year, you could break it down. So yeah, just keep an eye on your costs, because where I'm going to take this now is we're going to get into a lot of the things that you are going to need to think about spending money on in order to scale. Because not often, unless we've got high prices, can we bring in all 100K by ourselves. We need other people to help us with that. So I love the fact that you guys are all sharing. I know some of you have met up, and yeah, it's awesome that, not only have we been here and got to know each other and got into some of the learning, but you guys are making friends. It's amazing. So let's talk about the 3 T's. I had a question from Sue. I haven't seen Sue here yet. Sue, are you here? Hi, Louise and Ashley on Facebook. Hello. Have we got Sue? Sue Cocaine. She asked me a question which was all about, how do you know when is the right time to outsource? And that is a very, very common question. So let's talk about that. In the leverage stage, I've included 3 T's there: time, talent, and team. And obviously outsourcing is your team bit. So let's just sort of cover that off and see if any of the rest of you have got any questions on this. What we tend to do when we first outsource something, or what my advice would certainly be, is to outsource the things that you either aren't good at, or that you don't enjoy, or that you can maybe make some money out of. So outsource things that you know are going to be profitable. Okay, I'm going to go into that in a bit more detail in a minute, but think about what I first did when I outsourced is I wrote a long list of every single thing that I had to do in my business. Now, bearing in mind, I'd come from a corporate role, a big role, where I had a big team and loads of support around me. I had a whole marketing department, I had a data analyst that I could use, I had a finance department I could use, I had resources everywhere. Everywhere I turned, there was somebody there to help and support me. And then you go into being a business owner and it's like, oh, there seems to be only me. I better get on with it then. And you have to learn everything, absolutely everything. And it's hard. So what I started to do when I realized I needed to outsource was I wrote a long list of every single little tiny thing that I needed to do. And I either wrote the number or a feeling or something that would allow me to measure how important, how vital that particular task was. I wrote whether I enjoyed it or not, whether I was good at it or not, and I just started to grade these things, these tasks. And I can remember being really, really scared to outsource my first ever thing, because I'm a bit of a control freak and I like to get things right, and I hate it if they go wrong, and I hate it even more if a client becomes aware, because clients are my absolute, you know, holy grail. They are my lifeblood. I'm a client first person. So if a client is made aware that there's been a mistake or a hiccup, that's like awful to me. So outsourcing was really, really scary. And I can remember meeting with, well, over a period of months, quite a few people that could have helped me with a number of different things. And the options were vast as to which things I could outsource. But the busier I got, the more evenings I was working, the more weekends I was working, the more I was just thinking, I can't do this, the more it became clear with this list which were the things that I needed to take off my plate and allow somebody to help me with. And I'm not going to say it was easy, because it wasn't. It was hard. And I can remember the person that I outsourced to having to wrestle tasks from me, literally like, Rachel, give it up. Please just give it up. But once you do, it's like a feeling of, ah, oh, amazing. And as long as you've picked the right person who's aligned with you and your values and your pace and your style and your way of working, then it really is like a massive, massive weight off your mind. So I know we've got VAs here on the call tonight. And, you know, if any of you have got questions about VAs, I mean, we've got VAs here right now, so you can ask them like right now. Chris, you're absolutely right. Nobody can do it as well as us. That's how it feels, isn't it? How can anyone do it as well as us? Because we know our clients, we know our services. How on earth can anybody do our job as well as we've been doing it? But do you know what? There was one particular day when I was with a client all day doing a full day of training, and an inquiry came into the other company, the main company. An email came into our inquiries inbox, and without me having to do anything, I didn't even see it was there because I was in a training room. My business manager, that's what I like to call her. I like to give her a title, not VA, because I don't like, once she's in my business, she belongs in my business. She's family, she's in the business. So I don't like her feeling like she's outside it, because she's not, she's inside it. And so I came out of this training, and she had not just replied to this inquiry that had come in from a big company in the Southwest. She had only gone and converted like quite a decent sized training program with them, because she'd learned the services. She knew that I would have wanted to have won that particular client. She knew which trainer we had on the books would be able to go out and deliver that particular piece of work. VA means virtual assistant, Sally. And she was able to do that. And I was like blown away that I didn't have to do that she could do that for me. And I think that was the beginning of when I started to really, really recognize that outsourcing was a great way to business growth. So yeah, if you haven't had a meeting with a VA in your area or in your niche or in your specialism, then you absolutely need to. If you're at that breaking point where you've got your family, you know, how many of you are experiencing this? Your family looking at their watch at tea time and going, are you ever going to come away from the laptop? Or at the weekend going, are you going to spend any time with us this weekend? How many of you have got family members who say that to you? You ever going to put your laptop down? You know, you're not present, or they're always looking at you and you're like this. Yeah, I'll be there in a minute. Yeah, I'm just reading this. Oh, hang on, I just got to reply to this. How many of you are living in that world where you're so snowed under that it is becoming really, really difficult. If that's the case, outsourcing is absolutely the right thing to do, but you've got some decisions to make. You need to pick the right person. They need to have the right values, the right, you're like that, Joe, and you are a VA. You can recognize it. Yeah, it's so hard, isn't it? But when you're choosing a VA, you need to choose somebody that's got the skills and expertise that you need, obviously, but you also need to pick somebody who is aligned with you as a person and your style. So you guys already know I'm like energy. I'm like Duracell bunny. Those of you that don't know what a Duracell bunny is, it's a crazy bunny that's full of life. That's me. I'm very pacey. I'm very like, come on, we need to do this. And I wouldn't be able to work with somebody that was like, yeah, you know, I'll get to that. Yeah, maybe next week. That wouldn't work. So I need somebody who's as pacey and as fast as I am. And you can then work together and educate each other on how you like to work. A bit like an induction. If you were hiring a member of staff, it's just like that. It's an induction where they get to know you and you get to know them, and they ask you questions like, well, how do you like that? How do you like to sign off from your emails? How do you like your diary to look? Do you want to put colours in your diary and all stuff like that? So there's all sorts of, you know, things that you need to learn about each other. So it is just a process of being open and willing to share your workload. But step one is to write a long list. And let's say you've already outsourced some stuff and you've still got a long list and you're still working all the hours under the sun. Another really good, which I have on paper for my other business, is, again, all the tasks that need to get done in the business, and the tasks from small to scale up size. And then I've created that list into 5 job roles, so that everybody has a set of tasks that belong with their job role, so that I can then hire the right people. So my marketing manager, I've got a marketing manager, and she's on maternity leave at the moment. When I designed her role, it came from the list of all of the marketing tasks that I had to do, that I didn't actually want to do, that somebody else would be better at. And I created her job description out of that. I then made sure when I found her that she would be happy doing those roles, those tasks, and that hi Lorraine, and that she was good at it. And we went from there, and her role just developed. So if you're at the point where you're ready to hire staff, it's the same thing. You need to leverage, like we're saying here, leverage what you're best at. You wouldn't want to necessarily give away the things that you're best at because you're best at them. But you do want to give them to somebody else who might be better at them than you. So if there's anything that you're not that good at, find somebody who is good, but you need to keep a track of the cash, because you don't want to go spending hundreds and thousands on support for you not to have enough work. So think about, is it marketing that you need to outsource? Is it support work? Is it something else? Is it somebody to actually deliver work for you? That's the other thing. You might want to bring in somebody who can actually make money for you. So for example, when I hired my marketing manager, she won't mind me saying this, when I hired her, she wanted to do marketing. That was it. But an inquiry came in for a client that she was a really perfect fit for. And I said, how do you feel about working with the client direct? And she was like, oh, I can't do that. I can't possibly do that. That's not what I'm good at. So we talked about it, and actually she said, well, with your support, I feel like I want to have a go. And so now we've got a whole marketing product suite where she is the deliverer of that. So the work that she does then generates revenue, as well as her supporting with marketing. So there's lots of different ways of coming at outsourcing. But the key thing is to start with making a list of what needs to be done and categorize it really, really clearly. And there's no harm in going and meeting up with, or having, discussions with people who might be a good fit. You don't have to say yes, you just have to figure out how it might work. Okay. Before I move on, just leveraging time, it's the toughest thing, isn't it? We all struggle with the diary. We all struggle with getting enough done. And I've probably said it to you lots of times before. Only have 3 priorities on the go at any one time. It makes such a difference. If you start your day with 3 priorities, I guarantee you'll tick them all off and you'll have time for a 4th. If you start the day with a to-do list of 15 things, you'll get overwhelmed, you'll procrastinate, you'll do the tiny little tasks first, you'll leave the big impact tasks until the end of the day and then spend your evening either working on them or worried about them. So bite off small chunks, not big chunks. Write a list of 3, not a list of 15 tasks. It honestly, it is life changing. Okay, Mickey, you're agreeing? Yes, yes, yes. It honestly, it really is. So I know a lot of you have bought the High Performance Planner, which I need to be an affiliate for. And can't wait to have our weekends free. Oh yes, yes. How do you manage peaks and troughs in your orders? Very good question, Penny. Peaks and troughs. That is a key thing with outsourcing. So one of the things that I did do was move from an outsourced support person to a 0 hours contract employee. And I did that for a number of reasons. And one of them was to manage peaks and troughs. For a number of reasons, it didn't work out, but that wasn't about the contract. It was about the person. But that's my fault, and I paid the price for that. But yeah, peaks and troughs are tough, Penny. And so I would build that into the contract. Somehow I would build that in, that if you work with a VA who does a rollover, you know, where if you don't use the hours they roll over, then you have your mind put right, you know, put to rest, sorry, that those peaks and troughs are not going to cost you money. You don't want to sign up for a 20 hours a month contract only to use 10 but need 30 the next month. And that's just a conversation to have with the VA. Some do that, some don't. But it's just a simple conversation and putting them in the picture with where you are with your needs. And that's all about being a good fit, which is what we were talking about last week with sales. There's no point trying to just sell. You have to be the correct solution. So your VA will either want to be the correct solution or they won't, and that's their choice. And it's your choice whether to choose them as your person. So yeah, I think you just ask. Just if in doubt, find somebody that looks like a good fit and have a conversation, and great things will happen. I'm always a believer. You put the right people around a table or a virtual table, then good things come from that. So Canadian English, peaks and troughs. Oh yeah, peaks and troughs, Sally, ups and downs, or take the rough with the smooth. Okay, let's just dive forward. So, know the value of an hour. Here's a question for you. How sure are you? How confident are you in your value? When you break down all the services and the average cost, and you say, what is Rachel Howarth worth an hour? You know, I'm looking at the names on the screen. What is Vanessa Cobb worth an hour? What is Sally Haysom worth an hour? What is Chris Heron worth an hour? You need to be absolutely crystal clear confident that you are worth that amount of money, whatever it is. Because when you outsource, you need to be sure that you can backfill your own role and that it will be profitable. So let's just say the rate that you're given per hour for somebody to outsource to is half what you're worth an hour. Then that's a good trade-off, because for every hour that person is supporting you, you can be earning double that amount of revenue into the business. So when that hits the profit and loss, the revenue comes in at double the amount of the cost, and therefore you're left with the other half on the bottom line. Please, does that make sense? Please, somebody tell me if that doesn't make sense. So when you, 3 priorities, yes, Julie, hard to achieve. So, well, yeah, without going into detail, Vanessa, of everybody's individual situation, I guess, yeah, it's tricky, but just in the basic principles, revenue in, cash out, profit left. For example, you know, if I'm worth £100 an hour, I wouldn't want to outsource to somebody else who's £100 an hour, because why would I? I'm no better off, because that person is going to not just take £100 an hour, same as me, but actually they're going to cost me time, because I've got to brief them, I've got to communicate with them, and actually I've lost in that. So you just need to be really clear around what is that amount, that what is your value of an hour, and be really, really clear about that. Because let's say you do choose to outsource some of your support tasks, you do choose to outsource that, and let's say, you know, you get some peaks and troughs, or, you know, something happens and you can't, you know, you lose some clients, for example. You need to be quick to react to the difference in costs, which is why you need some tracking in place to measure your cash flow month to month. For example, when COVID hit, first thing I did was cash flow forecast. Who owes me money? Who do I owe money to? What does the cash flow, what does the P&L look like when all that money's paid? What's going to happen? You know, forecast out my revenues. What can I do to my costs to maintain profitability? And I stripped out cost. I didn't just sort of sit back and go, oh, let's see what happens with COVID. I literally got straight on my emails. I got rid of my office, which I might be getting back again. I got rid of a couple of systems that we buy, things that we didn't really need. I stripped it out so that we maintained profitability. So tracking is critical, and staff costs are the highest percentage cost of any business. The employee costs, and I put outsourced costs in the same pot, are the highest amount of costs that you usually get. So they take some management and some control. So you need to, you know, pay attention to them. But, you know, I've got here on the screen what to outsource, delegate, tasks you don't like, tasks you're not good at, tasks that allow you to increase your earning, tasks that you can make profitable. So it could be something that allows a new service to be born, for example. Okay. So let's get into some money. We're going full circle now back to week 1, where we talked about mindset and money. And I said to you guys, do you remember, we need to have some big money goals, because all the sales and marketing, all the activities, the decisions to outsource, it all hinges on what our big money goal is. And in this example, we said we wanted to be, a lot of you have said, I want to do 100K a year, Rachel. So I've taken 10K a month, which is 120K a year, okay? Because 10K a month's nice, easy numbers. I can deal with easy numbers. So I just want to talk you through this example. So if, for example, your goal is to get from where you are now to a 10K a month revenue stream, and you decided that actually you don't want to work every single day, because when you're in a service business, you tend not to. I know some of you sell products, that's slightly different. But if you only want to work 10 days within a 20-day month, because we've got 4 weeks of 5 days, so 20 days on average, you only want to work 10 days, you know that your day rate has to be £1,000 to get the 10K. Yeah, so simple maths. If the average cost of your service is £1,000, you then can work out, well, I need 10 clients a month. So to get my 10K a month, I need 10 clients who are all going to pay me £1,000 for every day I work, and I'll spend 10 days in delivery and 10 days doing other stuff, whatever that other stuff is. Probably chances are it's a lot of sales and marketing and maybe, you know, some other bits and pieces. Okay, so 10 days working, it's going to get £1,000 a day. That's going to get you 10K. We know, though, from our sales module that sales is not a task where we succeed 100% of the time. And we've talked about the fact that your conversion rate on average will be about 25%. So what that means is if you want to sign up, you want to work with 10 clients a month, you actually need to speak to 40 clients a month in order to convert the 25% that are going to pay you, because the other 75% are going to say no. And they might move on to a future month. You know, they might say, I'm not ready now. I'll start with you in 3 months' time. That could happen. But on average, in this example, you'd speak to 40 and you'd get a yes 25% of the time. So you would be out there every month trying to get 10 new clients from speaking to 40 with your £1,000 a day, and you've got your value ladder, and it might not be that everything that you sell is 1,000. You might have something at 500 and something at 2,000, but on average, it's £1,000 a day. Okay. Is everybody following my example? I do hope so. I've tried to keep the numbers simple. My question is, if that was what every single month in business looked like for you, is that sustainable? Is that a life you want to live? You're right, Mickey. Yeah, what about the time it takes you to do the calls? Yeah, that's in the 10 days of non-delivery. Burnout, exactly. Who said that? Thais, yes, burnout. No, it's not sustainable. It's a lot of bloody work. It's a lot of, what's the word they use? Hustle. It's a lot of hustle. It's a lot of hamster wheel. It's a lot of, oh my God, I've got to find clients, I've got to find clients. Nobody would want to sign up for that. In that case, 100K a year, or in this case, 120, it's not worth it, because you are constantly battling. It's just not sustainable, which is what I said right at the beginning. It's not sustainable, therefore it cannot be the goal. That cannot be the goal. So here's some questions just for you to think about. If this was your reality, and I don't think any of us are in this reality, but I'm just using it as just to get you thinking. Could you sell longer packages? Because in this example, if I'd applied 6-month packages to it, so our clients, every time they sign up, they don't spend 1,000, they spend 6,000. And so they then have their delivery over 6 months, and then I sell another client who then layers on top of that for 6 months. Yeah, you could add passive income, Chris. Exactly my point, exactly. So could you sell now longer packages than what you sell, so that you've got people tied in for longer? The longer that you tie them in for, the less people you have to sell to. Yeah, this is making your life easier. Could you put your price up? You might look at your prices now and think, oh my God, Rachel, no, I can't do that. But you could put your price up, because if you put your price up, and we know, hopefully we've all nodded when I said, are we really totally bought into the value of us for an hour? Do we believe in our value? If we do, then we'll just maybe inch them up just even slightly, because over a long period of time, that will mean you have to sell to less people. Mark, subscriptions would absolutely do it. Regular recurring revenue, subscriptions, retainers, longer packages, all of that makes your sales life easier and allows you to scale. That allows you that up leveling, that upswell of easier revenue. Could you deliver your services one-to-many rather than one-to-one? One-to-one means you're always struggling for capacity. You're 10 days. You're always struggling against the tide. Always time is an issue. Yeah. But if you can do some of your services one-to-many rather than one-to-one, then that's another way where you could maybe limit the volume of sales conversations that you have to have. That's why we're making an e-course, Katie. Exactly. Yep, Sally, customer service. Absolutely. The more the customer service, the more the communication, the more people will buy, the more you can get them to come and buy your product, Sally. Absolutely spot on. Last question, could you automate, could you systemize or outsource to make better use of time and talent? Okay, so those 4 questions, I hope, get you thinking about your business. It's very difficult for me to give 100 examples of how you individually might scale up, but this is just me thinking broad and general. These are things that you could do to improve your effectiveness and your route to scaling up to that magic 6-figure number. Okay, now some of these things take a bit of thinking about and they take a bit of planning. None of them are impossible. None of them are impossible. And I've done all of them. And I would say, you know, they're all effective for different reasons and different, you know, different ways, but they are possible. So start thinking about your strategy and how you can maybe be more effective and leverage those 3 T's and get yourself into a position where you can look at a 12-month roadmap and see that route to your magic 10K a month. Okay? They would make the value ladder stronger. Exactly. And that's why on Thursday, I am sharing my value ladder with you, because I want to show you. I shared with those of you that were on the mastermind last week that I'm going to be a millionaire in 2 years. I shared that goal with you. And I'm telling you, it's happening. I am doing it. There is no failing. It is happening. So if I'm going to make big, bold, brave statements like that, I have to be prepared to show you how I'm going to do it. And dinner is on me, Sally. Yes. So I'm going to show you, because I think that, you know, we all need role models in our life, and I put myself in the chair of being the leader of this program, which means I've volunteered myself as a role model, and I've got to bloody act like one, and that means I'm going to share with you as much as I can share with you to show you how I might do it. Now, I might try and fail. I mean, I don't think that's going to happen, because it rarely does, but once I say out loud I'm going to do something, it's non-negotiable. It's just happening. So I'm going to show you how I plan to do that. Okay, so there's some questions for you. On Thursday, I'm going to go through working smart and not hard. Okay, we don't want to work hard. Hard is burnout. Hard is not sustainable. Smart is how to scale. Okay, has anybody got any quick questions before we dial out? Oh no, Manjuli, you're not going to be there Thursday. I probably will record it, because yeah, I think a lot of you will want to see who wins the prizes. Anybody got any quick questions before we dial out and listen to the UK Prime Minister give us whatever news he's going to give us? Please do, I won't be there. Oh, Abby, don't worry, we will record it. We don't normally, but we'll record it because it's the last one. And I like to watch back and see how crazy I get. Okay, no questions on scaling? No questions on scaling? Anybody got any? Replay the start. Yes, Lorraine. Lorraine, you've been learning all night. You've come from one course onto another course. Can't wait until the mastermind. Oh, you have a comment, Sally. Go for it, Sally. Oh, who's got too many questions? Maria. Don't worry, Maria. You're in the top 10, honey. You're in a really good place. You might get to win a prize. Lovely to be out with everyone. Oh, you guys are just so amazing. Oh, Mark, what's that? I remind you of a woman in a nice way. Oh, what is that? Oh, I'm scared to click on it, but I will. Oh, it's a YouTube video. It's not going to play now, is it? Oh, it is. I'll have a look at that, Mark. Thank you. I hope she's nice. Don't be scared. Oh dear. Okay, I will look. Right, guys, you've been amazing as ever. I love you all. I just love the fact that I can just feel, even though I can't see you and hear you, I can just feel the energy, and I know that you're all sat at home writing notes, and it's just amazing. So please, I will post the Facebook review link in the group. And if you've got any other feedback, please give it to me. You'll find questions in the quiz area, just like normal. So if you have got questions on scaling, please do fire them over and I will work my way through them and hopefully answer those questions. Okay, so have a good rest of your evening. I'm getting hugs. Thank you guys. Thank you. You're awesome. Right, night guys. Bye.